just laying here thinking about a podcast on children, and I went into tears. Oh my gosh, so much just come out of a 40-hour drive fast, something I've done 8 days before. I thought I'd just express, really, and hopefully I haven't lost the flow. But on parenting, co-creator, it's like, oh my gosh, I mean, the tears was running through my eyes. I can shift back into a framed Pete, but as I was talking, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm fed up witnessing people dying, people giving their children nonsense, people feeding themselves nonsense, and it's like this brainwash, and then the people getting off on it, how we just so much in a self-abuse. It's just like, and then seeing really people doing more and more and more, and then we get so caught up in this divide and conquer mentality, psychological war on our mind. Come on. So yeah, I learned a lot over the years, and I saw a lot. My journey 17 years ago, it's like wake up or you're gone in the year. So my thing was you need to embrace your sensitivity. You need to embrace this, say, realms you see. How are you going to work with that? You've got the tools. Come on, you're big enough. You've done some work. You're big enough now to get on with it. You've got the tools. Come on. So my biggest thing was cleaning out my vehicle. No wonder no one wants to go there. It's like, oh my gosh, you get to see what we are doing, what we've been doing. Even this country, England and more European countries, what they've done to other countries, it's just heartbreaking. So then to keep us entrapped in this slave mentality, and we get busy with this and that. I'm busy here on this podcast. However, always conscious that there's genocide going on here in other countries. Aware that we are just holding like a revolver to our head, kamikazes. Every time we put some nonsense in our mouth, lost the old ancient ways, and it's just like hidden on purpose. So children, so we as adults, come on, be accountable. We joke about killing other sentient beings, and wow, come on, and putting death in our body, and then we pass it to our kids, and yeah, some of us do get so-called better, but hey ho, we have not gone through the detoxing of the nonsense in our body. Over the last few days, I've had so much phlegm come up due to many things. Trying to pin it on one or the other can be tricky. So as parents, we really need to get our act together. Parents, not parenting, co-creators. We have projects, we've birthed beautiful projects, all reflection of us. We haven't learned any of the old authentic spiritual ways. However, many of us do our best, and I see the most good-hearted people. It breaks my heart. However, as I said, your heart's already broken. Don't project it onto other things. So it awakens other broken bits in my heart of my childhood debris. So the opportunity to work through that, and just seeing how we are so lost, so puppeteered. It's unreal. So, back to children. What's the best thing we can do? First, get good seed. So, you get the good seed. You sort your vehicle out. Learn some of the Gnostic Moorish. I'm going to throw in there because it's all, I'm going to say whitewash, European washed, to keep us in a entrapment, slavery. The Book of Enoch, Ethiopia Bible. It's like, come on. And then what I see is Ibrahim Troare. Oh my gosh. Why can't people see, not that we give our power away, he's a reflection of our inner Christ consciousness. He's the second Christ. And then what we want to do, 1820 attacks on him. And then you realize this country, other countries, they've been holding Africa, holding us in slavery, pilfered, raping the country of all their goods, keeping them poor. There's so much out there. So what do we do about it? We stand up. Yeah, don't forget our country. But this is a pinnacle time. And stop buying into the weaponized color story. Yeah, I mentioned Ibrahim Troare. He just happens to be a melanin-rich folk standing up for sovereignty. And all the spiritual people, brother. Well, hey, you aren't really my brother. We got to do the work. People doing the work, they're my brothers and sisters. So we have to do the work. Other than that, most things is a abomination, and I'm not very Christ consciousness, but in terms of the creator, the divine, whoever we want to name, we are all one. And look at the abuse we're doing. Look at the abuse. And so-called whatever religion. Yeah, time, I would say, to reshape. It's a beautiful time to reshape, reevaluate, our religions, where it all came from, and look how it's been weaponized. So Ibrahim Troare, we should be shouting his name, not trying to assassinate him. I see the authentic people, and it's like, to me, I'm going to use him as an example. Me aspiring to share what I have, having to keep very low key. That's what it's like. People are ready to take you out. I take you to festivals. There's other realms not even allowing you to get there. You get there. And then it's just like, whoa, Agent Smith scenario, Starly. And am I crazy? Am I mad? Well, you want to make that up. Do the cleansing. Do the cleaning. And you will get to see. You don't, because you don't want to see that you're part of the problem. You're aiding and abetting all this nonsense. And we got all these cliches. I just had a meat burger. I just had that. Oh my God, come on. And then you find out they're feeding humans. It's just like, whoa, and all sorts of other animals. So we are the useless eaters. So, yeah, lots of things shifting. So talk on not co-parenting, co-creators as parenting. Don't really like to use that word. As like, well, anyway, gratitude, embrace. We need to embrace this human being and not get lost in our pathetic psyop stories. And I don't give my power away, or I aspire not to. I recognize people like him, Honorable Priest Kailash, 7 years ago. I never had come across an authentic, connected person as him. Yeah, Ibrahim Troare may have some stories. To fight this battle, wow, Honorable Priest Kailash, Master Herbalist, may have some stories. We've all got stories. But energetically, I've never sat with someone like that. And then I realised 7 years ago why I haven't done nothing in England. Why I just did what I did. Because it's just like, a bit like throwing pearl to swine. When I came across that, I thought that was a bit harsh. But I'm seeing it. We are just trained. We can all shift out of this nonsense. We're so perpetually in like an endemic scenario. We look outside, aliens, and we've got it. We're backed up. Our frequency is constipated. We're energetic beings. We're electric magnet beings. So that's what the children are. And I see us take them out because their full-on vibration triggers unresolved stuff in us. So that's what I would like to say. We really have to sort our house out. Yeah, we may have children now, and you could think it's a bit late. It's never too late to always improve. Never too late. We just do little bits. Someone last year. Oh, wow, Pete, you're amazing. Doing 120-day juice fast. I've only just give up smoking or just give up alcohol. I'm like, you're amazing. You're amazing. You know, if I had that, wow, I can just tune into that. You're amazing. You know, I was shown wouldn't be in there, and I had a 4-year-old daughter, and I'm like, well, I'd like to be around. You know, I'm enjoying this, and my sons were about 18, 19. I want to be there. You know, financially, you could say I was just there a little bit, but it was never about that. It's me being there, learning to be there, be present. So they have an essence of my presence, essence of our presence, not all out of our bodies. So they learn all them habits. So they're all running wild. And then we got the bombardment of 5G and all other kind of nonsense. I mean, we so need to be protected. Let's just wish, hope. We could say, yeah, it's happening. Well, we make it happen. We shift, we change, we get into the creativity. Whether it's happening or not, it's wise not to wait around for anything. I didn't wait around. We do our best not to knock anyone. Good-hearted people, you know, working in children's homes, working in schools, working in hospitals, armies, police, come on. This is a plea to you. You know, stop doing the really narcissistic and cruel things to your fellow man and woman. You know, come on, we need to go deep and clear some of this karma that's been going on for ages. A seed, though. Africa. Oh my gosh. Belgium, chopping off hands, chopping off legs. There were zoos. Europeans had zoos of these people. Zoos, you know, people zoos. Come on. You know, horrific. I don't want to keep going on that. What do? We shift. We support people who are doing good work. Go back to I see other people doing good work. Yeah, we really wise to support them. And meeting Honourable Priest Kailash. After that, I realised why I wasn't doing nothing in England, really. Why I wasn't taking up many opportunities. However, people saw what I did. No one really, you could say, stuck their head on the line. No one. Oh, this, yeah, I could do that. But you know what they wanted to do? We've got this endemic colonialism in us, capitalism in us, materialism in us. You gotta go deep. We've got this prejudice in us. People say, I'm not prejudiced. Blacks are prejudiced. Well, we've all got different prejudice against each other. We've been taught that way. It's a clever psyop. So we gotta go deep. You gotta do deep work. So not one properly stepped up. When they realised I was sovereign, they wobbled because they couldn't control. They couldn't overtake my vision or my dream or my service or my connection. So, you know, fallacy dreams, yeah, they could do this, to do that, and they wobble. So they could not just follow it through because they wanted to control. And we really need to detox from colonialism. All of us, and our bias and the weaponized colour agenda, all the things that are being weaponized. But how do we do that? We keep doing the perpetual nonsense, putting nonsense in our bodies, sabotaging our divine vessel. Yeah, cool, whatever, don't know what you want about. Well, it's not for you then, if you don't know what it's on about. You know, you carry on being the other part of the duality. You know, there's a big shift. Some will shift, maybe not shift. As far as I'm concerned, we are here right now. Whether you're waiting for anyone, you can wait. Whether you're trying, just do bit by bit. Get in a creative flow. You know, all the kind of 9 to 5, not even kind of 9 to 5, all this entrapment. See how we're acquiescing. However, if we're feeding certain European countries, what is it built on? You know, it's horrific. I'm over the many years, literally started more 17 years ago, looking at all the amazing melanin-rich people inventions that they created. Didn't know any of that. Even a good couple of melanin-rich friends did not know neither. I was mixed with lots of Caucasian friends. I don't have an issue with either. If I don't get my act together, I'm just beating up myself. As far as I'm concerned, I have a beautiful standpoint. Mixed. I have the Caucasian. I have the African from the roots. So what I'm feeling, I can feel the wobble in the Caucasian, the blocks, the programs. Oh my gosh. It's like you're really doing everything to kind of block. Imagine the most darkest secrets just coming up as in you as an individual. You want to do everything to hide that. Hey, time to change, time to embrace that. It's a great time. Let's take the baton of change. Let's get more spiritual. I remember saying in one post, if Ibrahim Troare got taken out, I'd be devastated. It would wobble me, but hey, as if he was a son. Far as I'm concerned, he's a son. He is a son of mine. I have 2 sons similar age. So this is what we got to recognize. He's more than the second coming of Christ, as far as I'm concerned. And it's beautiful. Other countries are supporting him. All negative propaganda going on about other countries. And then you get to see the real truth. It's just like, when are we going to sort ourselves out? And not get divided. Okay, I go on about sort out your vessels. Okay, if you feel meat and dairy and all that is sorting out your vessels, okay, do that. But support people, the higher purpose, even if you still do that. I'm not going to judge you. That's a division as well. I embrace you. That's your thing. However, doesn't stop you supporting people doing amazing things. It's segregation again. Yeah, but Pete, you're doing it. I'm just following a path that I've chosen, that's been shown to me. So, yes, I see people, I see children all being assassinated. Sparks dumbed down. I could say, well, energy, people, we're electric beings. This journey, I don't want to repeat, it's not easy, and it's not easy in them terms, but it's really simple as well. So my mantra is simple, it's easy, regardless of what comes. They're all opportunities, they're all gifts. So again, there I was, I'm not teary now, but I was in tears just realizing, so going back when the 2020 nonsense, was it then? Or it's just like I was shown, right, you can say stuff, stay off the media, don't get caught up in that, keep doing your work, don't get distracted. But to my close friends and family, whatever we want to believe, I get shown certain things, and it crippled me at the time, seeing certain people, on a level committing suicide. And I just wish and hope it doesn't come to fruition. Why, you could say, why am I doing these certain things? Why am I spending some more time with people? Why am I aspiring to just share with people, get them to see a little bit of me? We can only see bits of ourselves via people, but we just project. We cannot see a true essence of anyone if we haven't seen it in ourselves. So it's like, I'm fed up people dying. I'm fed up us allowing our children die. Fed up watching your mum, watching your sisters. So we do our best. If they still pass, what I witness is people pass, and I've shared, cleared, helped them clear lots of stuff that they've been stuck in, that's been eating them away. And it's the symbiotic relationship of eating abusive food, sedating the pain. And whether it's a Vedic blood type, great, just stop doing the very thing you're doing, and then you won't need another tablet or etc. sedation to resolve the problem. You go to the root. And especially there are beings that get thrown in a nut house or whatever they are who integrate no food. Not saying we all have to do that. Let's go back to better foods, lighter foods. And I'll probably get slammed for this and that. However, let's not lose track, whatever gender, whatever ethos, let's not put our own Christ on the cross. Whatever analogy, Christ analogy, true. There are true beings walking around, walking back then. So let's not just hand over. We're waking up to waken our consciousness up. Russia's aligned. How beautiful. It sounds like, and let's just say whether China or Taiwan, I can't remember who the other countries have aligned. And France, oh my gosh, you really have done some not nice stuff. Time to repent. Come on. Drop into your hearts, accept how it's going to be, drop. Please, stop pillaging. I'll get that word right one day. Wow. What a genocide you've done. We're all part of it. What a genocide on my Caucasian part that I'm part of. Wow, I'm so glad I had wake-up calls. So glad relationships, or the program psyop of relationships, didn't work for me. So I could go on this journey. So I'm going to shout out loud, Ibrahim Troare. What you on about? He's more than the second Christ. This is the time to really wake up. This is the time to support people like him. He goes. It ignites the Christ in us. Wake up. What an individual. I'm so proud of my boy, so proud of my daughter as well. But wow, if his pa and his mum is alive, I'll be so, so proud. What an amazing person who's had to go into war from the heart, So, this started from about parenting and the food we give our children. Let's not give them the poisons. Indians, white man talks with forked tongue. That's part of me, and they've taught all nations to talk a bit with forked tongue. They took, stop eating the white man's poison. That's another thing. I'm not against, we have to own it. I'm not against that. Otherwise, I'm against myself. If I do research into me, my genes, how can I sit with myself? How can I honestly support that paradigm? How can anyone really support that paradigm? There's something that's come up recently. Of course, there's the weighing of your heart to a feather. This is the time, really. Come on, the weighing of our heart. Ibrahim, the Alliance of Africa, there's compassion there, to just shift. All people want is their sovereignty back, a connectedness. Hopefully we get to a connectedness. The old tribes, new connectedness, the indigenous new connectedness. It's in our psyche. The more we connect, the more it's in the psyche. It's breaking through the held realms. So, something else, but I forgot. So, wow, what a time to be shouting it over the roofs. And if whoever goes down doing amazing work, we should take a spark of that, and not believe the BS. Not believe the BS. It's like a theatre out there. How do you know you're not believing the bullshit, Pete? Well, there's a connectedness. If you're clearing as much as you can, I'm like, why? There are many people, Caucasians, beautiful people, Italy standing up, many people exposing what's going on. So many Caucasians are So many more. It's the weighing of the heart. There's another saying, I sold my house and picked up the sword. So does that mean literally the sword? It can mean many things. Things are twisted. Maybe go to the Ethiopia 88 books as opposed to 66 books. Probably get a more authentic answer there. But to me, it's this connectedness. You know, you got to connect. Yeah, we can do good, but you know, we still might pass, and then you may be caught up in this perpetual nonsense. So get more of a connection where you are here and now. There's something in the Buddha which it all comes from Africa science. You know, I took my first breath and I died. That's beautiful. I'm shown through my sister when I was 28, she's 35. Came in my dreams, Pete, I'm fine. You know, this isn't real. It's like they've only got a month or 6 strengths, 6 strongs to bounce around to kind of support other people in this prison mentality. Later, my other sister died maybe 12 years ago. She came, boom, she's next to me. So for me, it's taking notice and aspiring to walk cleverly. Someone could say, well, maybe not clever putting that out. Who kind of cares really now? We really be wise to make that connection. You know, there's some amazing people coming out, amazing people doing amazing work. Again, good-hearted people marching. We are the 99%, but you're still abusing the body, the very sanctuary, you know. And beautiful, well done, marching this, that. So we really need to cleanse. Of course, that's not. They will orchestrate that play. We really need to connect. What do you mean connect? Yeah, we lose connection. I have no idea what you want about Peter. I had no idea until worked on it. And then, well, maybe you're delusional. Well, actually, what I'm seeing is we are in a delusion, you know. So this all started from co-parenting. I aspire to support, share, but be by example the best I can. What about this, Pete? You do that, you do this, you do. I, by example, do the best I can. I'm not harming anyone. What about the plants? Whatever. Fine. If I still need to learn that one. To transition to the Garden of Eden, then so be it. However, it's not too late. I've witnessed, again, I mentioned, helping people in their last days, not knowing that it's going to be their last days, and clearing so much, so at least they don't have to come back and repeat a kind of more horrific story to wake up. So that's been beautiful. Yeah, but they died, Pete. Well, no, they just went back with less baggage. So even if their heart wasn't weighing like a feather, you know, maybe it didn't get devoured because they attempted to do something in their last moments. So parents, we need to be accountable. You know, realize all the bullshit media, bullshit songs, bullshit movies. Realize the downloads we're getting, and we're allowed our kids to have that, and how we're just not allowing everyone's birthright, spiritual passage. You know, we did a home birth, skin to skin, you know, and lotus birth. It's like, oh my gosh, that's another 30 minutes I could share on that. It took me so deep, and you can think, yeah, I do breath work, I do this, saunas, ice bath, many parasite cleanse, many juice cleanse, dry fasting. I'm experimenting with myself. However, the first few minutes of having my child on me, I realise all patterns come up to avoid it. And my partner just, what are you doing, Pete? We didn't agree that. She's gone to the toilet, and I put her on me. It was what I reached, I'm going to say, 5 days in a dry fast. Some people are against dry fasting. I would suggest people look at that. Well, I've seen many people die, yeah. But come on, see the elephants in the room, man. Some people potentially may have, and you may personally know them. I know so many people dying from mistakes of pharmaceutical, from just self-sabotage, committing suicide through slow suicide, through what they put in their mouth. But yes, get tuition, but some people can't afford these really expensive therapists. So there really needs to be more for people like that. That's why, again, I go back to Priest, Honourable Priest Kailash. His dream is to bring proper natural healthcare to St. Lucia, free. Sudan's doing that. Ibrahim Troare is doing that, among many, many other things. However, we don't want that leaked out. We've got to paint them bad, because it will just wake people up of the prison and the constant nonsense we are in. And what has gone on for like 50 maybe or more, so many years, when the beautiful, compassionate being got taken over, hosted, parasitical food, parasite realms, parasite realities. Wow, I'm going to leave it there. Parenting, co-creating. Need to sort out our inner child, sort out all our pains the best we can. It's not too late. We aspire to get support, help, to reevaluate what we're doing. Why put them in institutions, schools, nursery? That's horrific. And it's not coming down on anyone. Just look at that. Try and wean that off. The system is designed like that. And even if you are still doing that, try and integrate some wisdom. But they switch off. You've got traumatized beings in these institutions, and then they're traumatized even more. So they come home traumatized, switched off. And then there's all this other negative programming going on. Some obvious, some subtle. Wow. Hands up, I did it. I was part of it. Spirit knew better, connection knew better. It's just like, you ain't here for that nonsense. So anyway, come on, let that light force Christ energy come through